Today, I'm going to be talking about the lymphatic system, and I hope that through this conversation, you will learn why I am so passionate about the lymphatic system and using our lymphatic system to improve our health and wellness. My name is Abby Malport. I'm a certified lymphedema therapist, physical therapist assistant, licensed massage therapist, and personal trainer. The lymphatic system is something that, if you think back to your human biology days in high school or college, you probably don't remember learning about the lymphatic system. We learn very heavily about the circulatory system or the cardiovascular system. I would argue that our lymphatic system is just as important as our circulatory system and should get a little bit more credit. Our lymphatic system is a web-like system that runs alongside our circulatory system. It also runs deeper as well, and it surrounds all of your muscular system and all the organs in your body as well. The lymphatic system is comprised of a superficial portion and a deeper portion. Your superficial lymphatic system pathways travel in both directions and have no pumping mechanism. Anywhere your skin goes, your superficial lymphatic system goes. Your deeper lymphatic system has vessels that contain a muscular layer and only pump in one direction, which is back towards your venous system. The lymphatic system has three main responsibilities. It regulates the fluid balance in our bodies. It regulates waste transport. It is the only system in our body that can easily recover trapped proteins and toxins. And number three, it aids with our immune function. It is our immune system in a sense. You can see this illustration here. The red and blue is demonstrating your cardiovascular system, whereas the green is demonstrating your lymphatic system. You can see your lymphatic system starts much like the capillaries in the circulatory system as small initial collectors, and then eventually meets up with larger vessels and trunks, goes to your lymph nodes, and then eventually your entire lymphatic system meets and joins your circulatory system right behind your collarbones at your subclavian vein. Let's look at the lymphatic system hierarchy. This is showing the lymphatic system, where it starts in our body. Where it starts is our initial lymph connectors, and this is a schematic of the skin, the epidermis of the skin. The outside layer is that web-like surface that you can see. This is where our initial lymph connectors start. This arrow points to our initial lymphatic collectors. Our initial lymphatic collectors have these overlapping valves on them. On the valves themselves, you can see these hair-like anchoring filaments. The anchoring filaments attach to the surface of the skin. So what happens as the skin stretches and moves, those valves open and the interstitial fluid then and toxins enter the lymphatic system, now calling it lymphatic fluid. If you go a little bit deeper from this initial net-like structure, you will see these more vertical vessels. These are your lymph pre-collectors. So we're going from our initial lymph connectors down to our pre-collectors and then down to these more horizontal vessels called your lymphatic collectors. So lymphatic collectors are then represented by these lymphangions, which are the little hearts of our lymphatic system. These lymphangions do have a muscular layer. You can see these little pumping mechanisms here. These are the spiral muscles of the lymphangion that help with the contraction of the lymphangion itself. The muscular peristalsis is about 5 to 8 beats per minute that your lymphangions will move fluid at rest. These lymphangions or lymph collectors then go deeper into our body, into larger ducts and trunks, and eventually join our venous circulation at that subclavian vein. Your thoracic duct is the largest and most important lymphatic vessel. It lives deep in your thoracic region. It's very large. It's the thickest vessel. And as mentioned, the most important, your thoracic duct, drains the trunk, the lower half of the body, so both legs, your left arm, and the left side of your face. So you can see the asymmetry of your lymphatic system in the drainage pattern that is happening here. So here on the thoracic duct, this large pouch-like area is called the cistern of Kiley. This is a large kind of lymph node region on this thoracic duct. The thoracic duct then moves superiorly here, and then there's a little arch on it, and it connects to that subclavian vein on the left side. Your right lymphatic duct here on the right side then drains the right upper quadrant, your right arm, and the right side of the face. The primary lymphatic organs of your lymph system are the bone marrow and your thymus. Your bone marrow is the production site for blood and lymphocytes. The lymphocytes include the B cells and the T cells in your body. And the B cells stay here in the bone marrow to mature. The thymus is an organ kind of in your thoracic region where T cells mature. This is largest in newborns and children and decreases in size and function in adulthood. The secondary lymphatic organs of your lymphatic system are your lymph nodes, your spleen, your MALT or mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue. Your lymph nodes will be discussed on the next slide here. Your spleen is considered your lymph node for the blood. So your spleen is filtering out all the waste and toxins from your blood. Your mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue is clusters of lymphoid tissue together. So this would be like your Peyer's patch in your small intestine, your tonsils, the back of your throat, your appendix, which is off of your large intestine, and then there's other locations throughout the body. But these MALT tissue is responsible for 75% of all antibodies in the body. They're producing 75% of all the antibodies in the body. So this lymphoid tissue is really important for our immunity. And then lymph nodes. So lymph nodes are purification and filtration stations for all of our interstitial fluid. So all the fluid that's floating around in between all of your cells. Every person has about 500 to 700 lymph nodes throughout their body. 200 to 300 of them are in the head, neck, and cervical region. 200 to 300 are in the central trunk. Now, this isn't the best picture of that because you don't see any lymph nodes in the trunk region, but know that they are there. And then 100 or less are in the extremities. So your extremities would be the popliteal nodes at the back of your knee and the nodes at the antebrachial region here at the inside of the elbow. Everybody has these large clusters present in the same area of the body. They just might be a centimeter here or a centimeter there, but they're all in generally the same area on everybody. And this helps us direct our treatment towards these areas because we want that fluid to flow to the lymph nodes to be purified and filtrated. Our lymph nodes are responsible then for cleaning and filtering the lymph fluid and either returning it to the tissues or sending it on to be removed via our organs of elimination. These are, in a sense, our garbage trucks of our body. They get rid of the crud, crap, and debris that is floating around in our system. So think about large proteins, foreign bodies, pathogenic substances, germs, toxins, cancer cells. These substances are all circulated eventually to our lymph nodes where they are dealt with. So the lymphatic system is so important, you guys, for fluid balance, regulating the amount of fluid in our interstitial cells. It's also important for detoxing our bodies. And it is so vastly important for circulating our lymphocytes or our white blood cells for our immune response. Stay tuned for my next education series where I'm going to talk about what is lymphedema. Thanks for listening.